Okay, now people can hear us.
Now
Now people
this
can
is
hear us. I see
quality.
the audio bar moving on the OBS.
God, I miss bars.
Okay, I'm joined by Nitros and CrunchyLex, who misses bars, and I do too. Say hello, guys.
Hello, guys.
Hello, guys.
Hey!
Alright. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, it didn't take my cropping either. Wow. The node is not wanting to be friendly today. Submit change, please.
Overlays
Well,
are fun.
I tell you what, guys. I'm going to research what's going on with the cropping. Sorry for the splits being available. I'm sure that's just awful. But you guys go ahead and enjoy the race. I'm gonna go hop out of the gatekeeping way.
I would also like to observe that I have the stream open another tab, and I don't see any movement whatsoever from either stream right now.
Yeah, it's like frozen screen.
Oh man. Oh man. Okay. All right. Never mind. Oh boy.
We're getting there.
Our side of things is hurting right now.
See, this is what happens when I show up. I bring all the goodness.
He sure does.
All right. Let's just go here to this and refresh both streams. Refresh stream A and B. Solving one problem at a time. There's movement on stream. Okay.
Ooh. Real
Okay.
honest to goodness movement.
Yeah, dude. Real honest to goodness movement. All right. I am quitting from the race. And I was not the final one. So I will continue to research why this cropping is not working to our advantage. And you guys have fun.
Well, since you asked so nicely.
Please have fun.
Oh gosh, I can't say no when you ask like that.
Okay. All right. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you guys at the end of the match, or if something happens in the middle.
Sounds good.
All right. Nitros, we're here. It's this race.
It's a race. It's between Centro and Mchan. Very good players, both of them. Definitely better than me.
Yeah, I mean, same. But they're both excellent runners. I actually double checked beforehand. Both of them having gotten really strong PBs, very high on the boards within the last 3 weeks. So they're both very up to speed on their strats. No rust here. Nothing but the finest aerodynamic gameplay.
Ooh, yeah. That's what we're gonna see. Centro with a really strong PB. Mchan a little behind, but you know, it's 100%. Anything can happen. Nothing is decided just from PBs. So here we go.
Yes.
Started the game, and there's apparently no audio from everyone. Off to a good start.
That's it's probably fine.
Yeah, I'm sure it's probably fine.
Yeah, the real good tunes don't start until a little bit later, so we have time to work out the kinks.
Oh,
But in
yeah.
the meantime, both of them have to work out this whole not having a sword business. Thankfully, one of them is waiting on the beach, and we're going to see him do a little bit of tech here, trying to grab it dirt before the owl starts talking to skip an animation, and Mchan does not get it. Let's see if Zintro gets it. Neither. Oh wait, both of them going for the one where you grab it before it leaves. Right. There's
Yeah.
more than one way to do this. The only rust here is on me.
Yeah, likely choosing this method because spin slashing the urchin, if it drops a rupee, it will be closer for you to grab than if you do the other method, so usually ends up being more worth it than 100%. Mchan not getting a rupee though. Neither of them getting a rupee, meaning it was actually slower in the end, so...
Mchan getting that real good luck, getting a couple of dupes as well.
Yeah, very nice RNG.
Yeah, the magic number here is 10. They need 10 rupees to be able to go take care of some crime things over in the item shop.
And Mchan has 10. Pretty nice enter shot time. Both of them actually getting pretty solid times, given that it's a race.
First things first. I wasn't joking about the crime things. Both of them stealing a shovel, coming back in, and then paying the price. I, for one, am thankful this is not how this sort of thing goes in real life, but hey, this isn't real life. This is Koholint Island.
Both players picking up one set of bomb as opposed to the normal 2 in any percent. It's just because we're getting an upgrade to our bombs very soon, so they don't really need to worry about bomb count early on. Central failing to steal. Maybe he's truly a good man at heart. We all know that.
Gosh, I can't believe this run, forcing good people to do terrible things.
A real shame, honestly.
Yeah. But anyways, the 10 rupees is doubly important. One, because you can't do the trick where you get the bombs without paying for them, without having enough money to buy them. And also, then they can't come down here and get this powder. This is much faster than the other way you can get it in the game, and it saves us a big detour. Now, they picked up 10 bombs, and I don't think the people out there quite understand just how important bombs really are, and how broken they are.
Yeah, see, you just saw them bomb triggering this owl by placing a bomb and screen transitioning at the same time, which actually makes the owl not appear, basically. You still need to measure the text box, but it ends up saving 2 seconds. And they're gonna do right here again to skip using the magic powder on Terran. Really smooth bomb triggers by both players. And they can simply skip the quest of handing in the mushroom to get the magic powder.
Yeah, I hope everybody remembers that. Bomb triggers are incredibly useful in the sense that they cause things to happen on whichever screen you're on. All sorts of wild, wonderful things. So, I hope you enjoyed that. You'll be seeing it again.
Oh, many times.
While we were yapping away, they've managed to make it all the way to the first dungeon, the Tail Cave, putting in the keyhole from the side, as you do with normal doors. And we are very fortunate here. Tail Cave is not a long dungeon, and also the game gives us one heck of a really useful item here. This is a 2D Zelda, yet believe it or not, it does in fact give us the ability to jump. And that is something you will be seeing here in just a little bit. Also, it's very, very fun how the game gives us so many good uses for arrows aside from just shooting things. You saw there they both blew open a wall with a bomb arrow, it's called. You have bombs and arrows and then just press the buttons at the same time. Well, you attach one to the other and fun times from a distance. It's kind of like fireworks, except you don't need a license for it.
Zintro actually spending additional arrows there to kill the hard-out beetles a little faster, but it is a bit more risky with your arrow count. It does end up getting a bit tight in this run.
Yeah, and that's actually something you'll also be seeing throughout. Since the Game Boy only had 2 buttons, you have to basically switch items on your A and B buttons whenever you want to do something different. So you'll actually find that sometimes they'll do something which might seem a little bit odd, but that's just because they're trying to save having to do the menuing to switch items. So that's actually factored in quite a few spots throughout. We'll try to call them out as you see them, but... God, there's just too much going on. What just happened there? Just jumped over a block.
Yeah, it's our first instance of a super jump. We can see it again right there. You actually have to use sword, Zintro, to conserve the arrows. Pretty smart play. But basically how it works is that you clip into the wall by walking into the corner of it, and then if you do the super jump like you just saw the players do, it's going to think that you're on a ledge, which lets you jump over the obstacle, and it just happens that all of the walls in this dungeon are actually ledges, which is why the trick works here.
Yeah, super jumps are one of the most useful tricks in any category, and honestly, it's also one of the biggest reasons, if not the biggest reason, why we play on 1.0.
Oh, for sure. It's like, yeah, it's only possible on the 1.0 release. And it's definitely one of the most useful tricks in the game. You're going to be seeing it a lot, just like the bomb triggers.
And there wasn't too much to say about the back half of that dungeon. There was a mini-boss there, but the game doesn't really expect you to have bow and arrow, so you kind of immediately kill it. And then Moldorm is the boss, unironically one of the hardest bosses right there at the beginning. I guess it can't all be good news in the first dungeon, but they both took care of it in real short order. We always love to see it happen. But so far, it's honestly not that far removed from what you would deal with playing casually. I mean, aside from some of the tricks, obviously. But they're getting keys, going through dungeons, just taking things in order. Nothing weird there.
Getting some money, collecting their heart pieces. It's all good stuff.
And they're sticking real close together so far.
Yeah, both players having really similar early games. Both gonna opt to do the super jump to get the heart piece. There is actually a new strat where you can kill one of the souls in that previous room and do a bomb trigger, but I guess they don't really dub it as worth it. I can agree with that, personally. Although it can be faster in some cases.
And right there, we did see one of the things that is allowed in this category that isn't in some of the others. Ooh, taking a tumble. Which is a saving and quitting. Some categories don't allow it, but this is no OoB. The only things forbidden are wrong warps and going out of bounds. Saving and quitting is allowed, so you will sometimes see them do that to warp back to other doors, or sometimes enter buildings and immediately leave. They are setting that save and quit point. It is very useful throughout the run just to save traveling around.
It's all in the name of speed.
Unfortunately, one thing that isn't so much the name of speed is this. This is the camera mouse, a photo mouse. I don't know what it is. It's a purple mouse with a camera, and part of 100% is getting all the photos. So we have to go in there to activate them, and now at various spots throughout the run, they're going to have to stop and talk to the mouse. The mouse will pop up and take photo. Not unlike the Fuzzy Pickles guy from Earthbound, except not nearly as charming.
Both players heading into the Moblin King fight. Let's see if we can see 2 cycles from both.
Thankfully for us, King Moblin did not get to be king by being smart, charging into the wall. That old chestnut. Both, man, the sync is real. They are so close to each other still.
Oh yeah, it's a race.
But we'll see what happens now. They're about to head into D2, but first they have to get past this block. I've seen a little bit of struggle here, but wait. Ooh!
Ooh, Zintro not getting through. He does get through the second time.
There we go. That's a trick called a flock clip. It can be a little bit fiddly sometimes. Sometimes it just doesn't want to work. Speaking of not wanting to work, Bow Wow.
Not wanting to eat the flowers. Really not cooperating with Centro. Oh my goodness.
gosh.
He opts to re-enter the screen.
There we go.
And it actually works out in his favor. But man, that's definitely a deficit.
Yeah, thankfully the way we have this game figured out, there's a lot there's not too much randomness to it, but there are a few factors, and one of them is Bow Wow.
Yeah, luckily we at least return him in this category, so we won't see him try to screw the players up in some of the later skips, which we're thankful for. Ooh.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Centro is gonna opt to skip a key there, likely trying to go for the top right later on in D2. Definitely interesting. And here we see the bow and arrows again on the second mini-boss. 2 hits. It's just way too broken.
It really is. They priced it at 980 rupees, expecting people would not get it until late game, but then they also give you the ability to steal items. I don't know what else they expected to happen. Alright, Mchan first to make it to the power bracelet, or power croissant, depending on how you look at it, part of a balanced breakfast. That's the end of the dungeon.
People making quick work of the ghosts, shooting them off screen instead of lighting the torches to scare them off.
And that was a good call. Zintro taking top route here. Grabbing this key.
Nice boss key room from Mchan. Zintro, yeah, he gets the movement around the hard hat, so nice stuff.
Hopefully Zintro has an equally good boss key room here, because the enemies can sometimes just give you a hard time if they're not standing where you want. Ooh! that Stalfos tried to mess things up, but Zintro made it work. And now it's time for the genie. Now, y'all might remember the genie from casual play. This boss is kind of terribly annoying. You have to dodge its stuff, and then throw the bottle against the wall 3 times, then it teleports around. But if everything goes well, we're going to cut that dramatically down here.
Yeah, what they hope to do here is to throw him into the wall by being clipped into the wall, and the pot's just going to break immediately. Then they're going to place down a bomb. He's going to recoil. They're going to try to shoot a bomb arrow. He misses the bomb arrow.
Ooh.
It's still alright, though. He does end up
it,
living with half a heart, so... Let's see if Zintro can get the clean one. Very good stuff by Zintro.
Very nice. Zintro going to be getting a little bit of time back with that one. And both of them finishing off the second dungeon.
Just under 13 minutes as well. Pretty good pace from both.
Okay. Now we're... I always have to use every part of my being to not start gasping and pearl clutching and grabbing that heart. Because wait, no, this is 100%. They need to grab that. It's not shameful in this category.
Oh, it still feels shameful.
It really does. But there's an even bigger shame potentially here, though. Mchan hopefully will not make a menuing error here. This is one of the most dangerous parts of the run for reasons that might not be obvious.
Ah, he gets through. He presses right.
Yeah, as Nitros said earlier, they were only buying 1 set of bombs because they would get the bomb upgrade, and that's right here. But the bomb upgrade is not the first one the Mad Batter offers you. You have to say no. I think twice? Or is it just once?
Only once. Only once.
Okay, only once. To get the bomb upgrade. And if you screw that up, you're in serious trouble, because there's really no other good way to get bombs aside from just going back to town and buying more of them. That actually is probably an easier way, but that's the only way I can think of it's convenient.
Yeah, he will give you the powder upgrade as the first option, which is not what you want until the last time you visit him, way later on in the run. So, that's definitely a thing they want to be careful of, the times before that. Oh, Mchan getting the text box from Bow Wow there, but it's still alright.
Text boxes.
Central manages to avoid it there by being fast, so good stuff.
Yeah, for anyone wondering, those things they're picking up are the secret seashells. You need to get 20 of them to get to the level 2 sword. But since you also get bonus shells at the mansion at 5 and 10 shells, we have it routed out so they will always be the mansion will always be along the way when they get to 5 and 10. Right there's an example of opening that early since they need bomb arrows to break the pig head. Just saves a menu there. One of those little optimizations.
And again here, entering the phone booth to set up save and quit points so they can save and quit later on. Back to that point, being closer to the next dungeon. Some nice routing optimization.
And here's the photo mouse again. This time we're going to take a picture with our friend Richard here. This is so you could in fact call this a Richard picture. I hope you all enjoyed seeing Richard. We will never see him again.
Oh, we will though. Very soon.
And here is the Seashell Mansion. 5 shells, get a prize. Another shell. Oh boy.
Yeah. They opt to open the save and quit as they're receiving the shell, and that's to skip the text box, as they can still receive it while being inside the menu, and then just simply save and quit out of it. Saves a few frames, but really, that's what truly makes the difference in these runs.
Now, this trick you're seeing here saves more than a few frames. This is the trick we call Villa Skip. And this is the reason why you're not really going to see any more of Richard, because instead of helping him get his castle back, we just skip all of that and go get the slime key directly right here.
However, we still need to head back and grab the heart piece, and it actually ends up being faster to exit through Richard's villa, so good news, we actually do get to see him here. Just for a few seconds, though. Or, no, sorry, it's a seashell, not a heart piece.
Goodness gracious. My memory is so bad right now.
Zintrothen not quite being able to finish off that soul. He's going to be 1 kill down going into the dungeon, so probably going to try compensating by killing an extra enemy. Not that big of a deal, because they are aiming to get a piece of power in the dungeon by having killed 30 enemies since their last save and quit.
Ooh, Mchan getting that one buffer Jesus jump on the transition there. What you saw there is both of them doing what we call Jesus jumps to be able to jump on water, to be able to get to that little island and grab the seashell, because this is by far the only really convenient time to get it. So they take that detour, and even with the buffering, it is faster than any other seashell we can get along the way. And then a little bit of wall clipping to put the key in on the wrong side of the keyhole, you know, just like you do. And into the the key cavern. Key cavern. I'm good at dungeon names.
Yeah, so we do see both players picking up some extra kills from all of the Stealthos. Ooh, Zintrothen missing one of Stealthos. Yeah, he does want to kill that guy because he is already short. Missing... Oh, man. He does end up getting those extra 4 as backup. You see there, Mchan, he gets the piece of power drop. It's gonna make his attack stronger and make Link's walking speed faster. So definitely a nice boost. It's the only time in the run we actually get to see it.
Yeah, that is a definite downside to the fact this category is, whatchamacallit, does allow saving and quitting. That resets your kill count, so you don't really see piece of power, and goodness, my sync must be way off, because I refreshed and I completely missed the Dodongos.
Let's see if you have a chance to see them again, though, because they are going to go back there. Ooh, missing the tech skip on the boss key. That's not that big of a deal. Neither players attempt the pro strat. I mean, I can respect it. It's pretty tough, and especially like in the race, the nerf's gotta be on. So both players opting to go the slower way.
They're
Dongle skip.
Yeah, they're skipping the Dodongos.
Real nice work by both players. Oh, Zintrothen not quite being clipped into the wall there. He has to go back a few times, getting the flock clip. skip key.
Here's the other reason you also want to have Piece of Power here. It makes the boss here, Slime Isle, a lot easier since it increases your damage. So now just falls on sword, and there we go, done.
Yeah, it makes really, really quick work of the boss. So, pretty solid dungeon from both players. No major mistakes.
Mchan still maintaining the lead, but it's not by too much.
Yeah, they're only about 10 seconds apart at the moment.
And goodness knows there are still a whole lot of difficult tricks coming up that can change the flow. Oh gosh, this owl just does not stop talking. We need to find him another friend. But anyways, before they can go to Dungeon 4, there's a whole lot of stuff that needs to happen, so there's going to be just a little bit of downtime here while they take care of some business. Such as grabbing this seashell, this piece of heart right here, which is, if you're anything like me, one of the ones you missed as a kid.
Yeah, I don't think I found this one either.
Because it's just a random wall tile, not even marked. Just what even are you doing here?
The true spirit of old Zelda is just a random wall. We see actually a cutscene skip here on Terran, skipping watching him get chased by the beast by opening the save and quit menu while clicking yes on the text box and then opening it again to save and quit. That actually skips the cutscene and is a fair bit faster.
Yeah, although it is unfortunate because watching Terran get chased by bees at high speed while funny music plays is absolutely worth watching.
Oh yeah, certainly is. Both players have collected 10 seashells, so they are on their way back to the seashell mansion to get, well, what was it? Another seashell?
Yep. They will be back again once they get 20, but that's still a bit of a ways out. And some of y'all probably wondering, hang on a second, were you supposed to return Bow Wow after the second dungeon? Yeah, we'll take care of it. Don't worry. Don't worry. Just it's faster to do it in a bit. Just not yet.
Yeah, there will be a time very soon where we go and do some cleanup in Mabe Village. So, just in a few minutes here, they're gonna get this, or trade this. Yeah, they get the pineapple from this guy. Doing another cutscene skip. Just like with Terran.
And now using one of these handy-dandy teleporters. And now we go back to Maybe Village. It's fine.
Yeah, they're about to head into the Dream Shrine. That's where you get the Ocarina. They're gonna do kind of cursed super jump. It's known as a naked super jump, but it's kind of difficult for some reason. I'm not really sure why. It's just kind of impossible to do on first try. Let's see if they can get it. Mchan does get up first try. Nicely done.
Yeah, naked super jumps are definitely harder to pull off than just standard ones. The inputs for standard ones is pretty straightforward, but once you start getting to some of those bespoke super jumps, the challenge level goes up.
Yeah.
Speaking of challenge, how about the challenge of staying awake? Because it's time for fishing. Fishing.
Everyone's favorite part of the run. Let's see if anyone struggles here.
You always try to see if you can get the lunker without getting the small one, but it's real hard.
Yeah, I don't even know if I've seen anyone do that, but yeah, typically the strat is to get one of the fish there out of the way, just make him let go, which is faster than actually grabbing him, and then just simply catching the big fish on the right. Both players seemingly have no trouble with it. They're well practiced on their fishing skills. You love to see it.
Yeah, and in case anyone's wondering, since we are playing on Japanese, which is faster because of text, is that their fishing is required because that one fish they grab does give you a heart piece.
Yeah.
And returning Bow Wow is required because we need to get a photo that you can only get after you return him. Otherwise, we probably would hang on to him. Gosh, this mouse just poking his camera inside people's windows and taking photos of them.
That's just things he does.
Just voyeur mouse things.
Kind of tricky seashell here from Mchan. Kind of easy to miss because it's, right by the first dungeon, which we already left a while ago.
Now it's a little bit of beachside business. Going to do the next part of the trade quest. Turn the pineapple to get some. I want to say bananas. Is it? No, dog food.
Don't think they're gonna be doing that. Actually, they're here to talk to
yeah.
Maren. More importantly,
right.
Or their date. And just
Wow,
look at all those things in the background.
Look at all those seagulls. And yo, Zintro, Zintro getting the nut touch.
Lovely stuff.
You'll love to see it. Oh goodness, look at these. Look at the seagulls. They're different. They're always different. Now that we have Maren, the good news is it's time for some fun photos you can only get while she's with you. Unfortunately, this is one of the ones you don't get to flash up on the screen, because it's kind of great to watch Maren land on Link. He makes a most excellent face. And also another one down here, just standing on the shoreline, getting some breeze, enjoying the moment.
Sure hope he's enjoying the moment, because he's about to get cucked by the bird statue. Unfortunate stuff.
And here we have Terran achieving peak dad. You kids look like you're having fun. Hey, let me be in the photo.
Definitely the worst part of the run right here.
It's very tragic.
Something else tragic that's about to happen, though, is that we're about to kill the walrus that's blocking the desert.
Oh gosh, it's true. It's true. Some might say that it wakes up and just goes for a swim. Nah. Just watch him. Just watch him. Now, the fun thing here is you can actually 100% just walk on the screen, and walk up to the walrus, and Maren will start singing. But that you have to walk across the screen, so it's still actually faster to bomb trigger the singing.
Yeah, it sure is, because Maren and the bunny just walk off faster from the screen.
The fun thing there is normally in other categories where you don't have Maren, if you bomb trigger and Maren's not with you, the game just kind of locks, soft locks. You just kind of can't do anything. And
yeah,
because the game's looking for Maren and she's not there. But in this category, hey, guess what? It works. Right there, you saw Mchan bomb triggering, grabbing a heart container, because you can just You can just bomb. You can just bomb trigger all sorts of things. Have we mentioned how great bombs are?
And that's why we get to upgrade first. Because having 60 of those things is just too dang powerful in this game. Also, did anyone see the boss?
Yeah, bad news for any Landmolus fans out there. Don't get to see him at all. Because this game does have an odd habit of making hitboxes be active before you can even see enemies. This is not the last time we'll be taking advantage of that particular aspect. Ooh, Mchan getting the pokey in the way. Always unfortunate. But hey, good news. With that, they're done with the desert, and they have the key for the 4th dungeon. Oh no! Owl!
Always there when you least expect them.
But hey, now it's time for some feel-good vibes, because remember that ocarina we got? You have to actually learn songs, and now the Ballad of the Windfish. I've always had a bit of a soft spot for that moment. I have a lot of memories attached to playing this game as a kid, and that part where you just learn to play the song just hits me right in the heart.
Definitely a very nice song. But now our collectathon is almost over. They're actually about to head to the 4th dungeon finally, after quite a long time.
There's just one or two more things they're going to take care of in the mountains before they go do the 4th dungeon, assuming, of course, they remember to open the dungeon. I'm not saying... Hang on a second. Okay, there we go. Like, look, I'm not saying that people sometimes forget to open the 4th dungeon before they try to go there, but I have 100% done this in a race before.
Oh, it happens to the best of us.
And there's the fish now. That fish is the entrance to Dungeon 4, and it is so happy to be here. You can see it in its eyes.
But we're still not going there yet. They have a few more things to do up in the mountains. Mchan actually opting to get the heart piece earlier. Most people actually tend to get this way later in the run, before Dungeon 7, but I guess it's not really any slower to get it right now, since we're in the area. It works out.
Yeah. Alright, now it's time for a very important trick here. Is Mchan going to get obstacle skip? Yes.
Both players with solid obstacle skips. Mchan enters the early cave, which means he's not going to be performing the early rooster skip, which Centro is most likely going to be doing. It is a little slower in the optimal case, but of course, if you have a bad early rooster skip, it can pay off to just do the normal version.
Yeah, that was actually something that I was curious to see what was going to happen. I remember when I was actively running this, early rooster skip was a thing that had just kind of appeared on the scene. Now I'd imagine plenty more people do it, but it's a very challenging trick, so wouldn't be surprised if plenty of people still opt to go for classic rooster skip.
No butt sword from Mchan. You'd hate to see it.
Ooh, shaking my head. Zintro thankfully giving us the butt sword we deserve.
Yeah, Centro, actually, he's been catching up really nicely. He was quite a bit behind by the end of Dungeon 3, but now they're basically even, aside from the fact that they're doing different routes right now.
Yeah, that's going to make it definitely harder for us to figure out what's going on. But here we go.
It's going
Early
to be
rooster
hard to
skip.
tell.
Oh,
Taking the fall.
That's
Luckily,
bad
he can just reset and try again, but it is going to hurt a little bit, especially if he falls again.
Yeah, regardless of when you do rooster skip, it is a brutal trick because falling down the pit will launch you back outside, so you pretty much just have to save and quit back to the entrance. Messing it up is costly.
Yeah, the goal here is to try doing the kind of same thing as Villa Skip, to try getting stuck on this wall, like you just did. And then they're going to be performing a dash cancel by using the shovel while charging their dash, and then try to jump over to the other side. It's doing a lot of extra buffers here, actually.
Yeah, I'm noticing that as well. There we go. Was waiting for him to shift that last pixel there. And,
And
very
he makes it
nice.
over. Nicely done.
Yeah, for a moment there, I thought I was a little bit worried he might not quite get the distance, but oh, he got the distance. So Zintro definitely a bit behind Mchan getting into Dungeon 4, but Mchan is going to have to do Rooster Skip later on the way to Dungeon 7, so by that point we'll have a better feel for where they stand relative to each other.
Yeah. Mchan doing the super jump to the boss key. Nicely done. Pretty simple stuff there, just clanking off what to be at.
Dungeon 4 is one of those dungeons where you actually skip a surprising amount of it, but you don't really think about it much.
Yeah, it's actually like the shortest dungeon in the run, I'm pretty sure.
And there we go. The anglerfish is dead. It does other things, but you'll never see it because bomb arrows exist.
Ooh, Zintrothen getting the fast pattern. Nice RNG there.
Hey, between the two of them, they have a pair of flippers. How nice.
I always wondered why they only actually gave you one flipper in this game.
I never understood. I think maybe it's... My guesses are either they expect that Link has one like comically muscular leg and one really weak leg, or it's a comically large flipper.
Pro strats from Central, but he gets stuck in the corner and can't actually perform the super jump. I didn't even know that could happen, to be honest. He ends up doing the same way as Mchan for the backup. Dang. That's a really, weird way to fail that trick. That is slightly faster the way he was trying to do it without equipping Bracelet, because obviously, like we were talking about earlier, you can save a menu doing that. No struggles with the anglerfish, though. Neither player having any trouble there.
You know, Mchan has learned Mambo's Mambo. I'm a little bit distressed at the lack of "oh" in the chat, because that's a very important part of Mambo's Mambo.
Luckily, we do have another chance to watch the cutscene just in a moment.
All right, but hey, guess what? For anyone trying to learn how to count at home, please stop paying attention now, because Dungeon 4 is the final dungeon they will be doing in standard numerical order. They are not, in fact, going to Dungeon 5 next. In part because they've made a friend.
Yeah, they have made Friend of the Ghost, which appears after you beat Dungeon 4, if you don't have a level 2 bracelet, which is why we don't see him in the other categories, because typically you would route Dungeon 6 before Dungeon 4, which yes, is a thing you can do, because this game is just cool like that. And we actually need him in this category, simply because you need to take a photo with him at his grave. So, it's unfortunately a little slow, but it is required for 100%, of course.
And there we have Mchan showing off one of the more interesting bomb triggers. It turns out that the pier of that bridge is actually a pit or something like it, so you can actually spam bombs down it. Don't think too hard about it. and that'll enable you to bomb trigger. Because remember, the only thing you have to do for a bomb trigger to happen is drop 2 bombs within 4 frames, and by whatever means necessary.
And also a nice cutscene skip on the mermaid. It's faster if you do it, I think, in 7 buffers or less. So, pretty nice. It's now going to be doing the trick called Sora Bump, which we do to get past this this kind of gap without having hookshot. Looks good.
This is actually a lot more challenging than it's going to look, because the Zora can appear in multiple locations, and you have to know the setups and the timings for every single one of them.
He does make it over with a little boost from his boots,
Nice.
though, so nicely done.
That is actually also the example of the only super jump you will see that's not in a dungeon.
Yep. And it's also why we're not getting the bananas instead of the pineapple, or for the pineapple, because we just end up getting the lens like this.
Yep.
Which is going to be the next item.
Yeah, and that's it. That's the end of the trading sequence, and you need the magnifying lens generally for 2 things, but we're only going to use it for 1, which is the boomerang, an item that we need to get. But first, we're going to go fishing for mice.
Centra actually missing the cutscene scape, likely trying to go for a single buffer. Not getting it, though, unfortunate.
Oh yes, there is also the Zora picture. The one that's so easy to forget that I forgot it. Ooh. Zintro getting... There we go. That was an interesting setup. Looked like Zintro was almost just kind of free-forming it there, but gets it. That was pretty speedy.
Yeah. Yeah, there are some people who like doing that with a lot less buffers, just because, you know, it is a bit slow to buffer, so you like to do some catching up, especially when you're behind in a race like this. Not sure if he's paying attention to stream at all, but... Or he's actually not even that far behind, because Mchan still hasn't done Brewster Skip. And if he falls there, then it's all tied up from his mistake.
But yeah, going to this little hut here on the shore is the one thing you have to do with the ghost before you take it back to its grave. It's an annoying detour, but what can you do? Thankfully, this is right next to the cave where you get the boomerang, so we need to be down here anyway. It works out. And boy, does it work out. You might be familiar with the boomerang being just kind of an item that stuns enemies, might grab things from far away. No. In this game, the boomerang is way more powerful than anyone expects it to be.
Yeah,
like, we know how powerful it is, and it still shocks us.
Yeah. Like, if you thought the arrows were broken, oh man, you have not seen the boomerang.
Oh god, the boomerang is so good. Among other things, keep your eye on that bush. Oh, kaboom. Makes foliage literally explode. Can your arrows do that? It's also very strong as far as damage is concerned, which is an odd thing from a boomerang in a Zelda canon, but here we are. Also, hey, it's time for the Mad Batter again. What are they going to be getting this time?
It's gonna be powder, arrows. It's hopefully not powder, because if they do, the run is dead.
Oh gosh, I have made that mistake. I've gotten powder here before, and you hate to see it happen.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Mad Batter always offers you powder first, like a jerk.
It really is a jerk move, but he does end up getting the arrow upgrade. He's going to be using his newly learned song to get right out of there and head on over to the next dungeon. So we just did Dungeon 4, and we already concluded it's not going to be Dungeon 5, so it's going to be 6, 7, 8. It's actually going to be 0, which is something you might have not expected, but this game has Dungeon 0 in Color Dungeon.
Uh-huh.
Which we do need to complete as well to get our tunic changed in color. Hopefully to a better one.
I think they'll do fine. I hope. Speaking of doing fine, Zintro about to talk to Mad Batter, hopefully get those arrows. Did it.
Very nice by Zintrothen.
Can breathe a sigh of relief.
Now Mchan is going to be coming up in this cave on a heart piece, where we're just going to casually throw this boomerang through the blocks. That's something you can do.
Yeah, Boomerang's just that good. Now just push some gravestones in specific directions. And here we go, Color Dungeon. This was one of the big gimmicks of Link's Awakening DX. It added this dungeon that was not in the original, and you could supposedly only do it on the Game Boy Color because these skeletons would ask you questions about what color they were.
Yep. Going to be busting open this cave, another very well hidden one, of course, and going to be grabbing some rupees because they do actually need 300 rupees later on in the run. You can see that they don't quite have 300 from this; they're actually ways off, but you're gonna have a way to get more from the same room later on.
Yeah, it's actually really cool how that one works.
Yeah, you can just see the boomerang completely like decimating every enemy in its way. It's pretty ridiculous.
Oh gosh, we love the boomerang so much. It's too bad you only get it 100% categories because it just makes a mockery out of everything.
Yeah. Aside from this mini boss though, because this is one of the few uses of powder where they actually need to use it to fight this mini boss. It takes 6 powder hits. Very nice to unlock there.
Alright, so now in the next room is the dungeon, is the boss key, but you're going to see both Mchan and Zintro do something interesting after they save and quit here. Let's see if you can catch it. There it was, did you see it?
I saw it. It was hard reset, which is basically turning your console off and on, and it just happens to work out because the rupees end up coming back after you do that.
Yeah, and that's actually kind of a fun little thing about the fact that since this color dungeon, since it was added later, for reasons I don't know if there's really we have a good explanation for why the state of this dungeon is saved in the system memory instead of on the cartridge memory. So when you hard reset the console, it doesn't remember that you grabbed the rupees and you can get them again. Isn't that nice?
Really convenient stuff. Mchan coming up on what we like to call the bingo room, just because it's so dang fun and random. Need to throw these beetles into their respective holes. Looks like a pretty decent one from Mchan.
You always hope you can just kind of knock them in there with a boomerang instead of having to pick them up and throw them. But if they move the way we don't want them to, you just gotta roll with it. There isn't much you can do.
I've seen some really fast bingo rooms recently, though, so we'll see if Zintro can pull one off.
All right, it's time for the boss. There's a color gimmick here, but turns out you don't need colors when you have arrows.
And he's dead.
So now it's time for the burning question. Which color tunic is Mchan going to get, and then what color tunic is Zintro going to get? Unless there have been changes that I'm not aware of, it's very much a personal preference thing, because both of them have their pluses and minuses. I was always a fan of blue tunic. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I would also pick the blue tunic personally over the red one. Ooh, Zintro knocking both of them into the pit at the same time. It actually works out for him, kinda. Because the green one is perfectly in line for him to be hit in the next hole.
It's always a little bit weird when you wind up with two in the same hole. You just you don't know how it's going to work out. It might kick them out. It might let one sit. That room is very strange.
It really is.
Okay, but now armed with the blue tunic, Mchan is going to head on down to the signpost maze to get a very, very important thing. But first, I need to see what Zintro's going to do with the tunic here.
Is it a double blue tunic? It is a double blue tunic.
blue.
Both players choosing wisely.
No, I was just going to take a moment to talk about the tunics real quick. Just blue tunic is basically like a guardian acorn all the time. It cuts your damage in half, and red tunic gives you increased damage and knockback like a piece of power would.
Yeah, it sounds good, but of course there's some downsides to knocking every enemy away so far, which makes a lot of bosses and enemies just harder to deal with.
Yeah,
which is why a lot of people like picking the blue tunic instead.
Yeah, for me, I know that there's one boss in particular that that the red tunic makes more challenging to finish in 2 cycles.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. It's time for the best song. All rise for the national anthem. God, it fills me with so much soul.
He has obtained the Frog Song of Soul.
That's probably why they call it the Frog Song of Soul. Yep. Hey, that's all 3 songs.
Yep, there's no more songs left in the game, so everything left is just going to be pictures, heart pieces, and seashells.
Speaking of heart pieces, it's time for one of the biggest, most annoying detours for a heart piece right here.
Oh, yeah.
As it turns out, the moat around Canelet Castle, you remember that castle we didn't really do much aside from take a picture in front of? There's a heart piece in the moat, and this is the fastest way to get to it by swimming to it. We have yet to figure out a better way of getting it. If you can figure out a better way of getting to it, we may actually build a statue in your honor. I'm not sure, but it wouldn't surprise me. It is unfortunately a heart piece you cannot just bomb trigger to grab. That would have been amazing if we could.
Yeah. Mchan heading over to the house, gets the barrel rolls into the Sora picture. Very nice stuff.
And yeah, this is usually the photo that everyone missed as a kid.
Yeah, it's honestly really random. We also see the mouse turning a bit pale after being fished up by the fisherman.
Well, I mean, you know, after we knocked him off, after it fell off the cliff earlier on, I'm surprised it wasn't quite sooner. All right, so let's see. Let's compare numbers here. So we did dungeons 1, 2, 3, 4, then 0, and now is it
5? We'll have to see, but it looks like he's grabbing the key for dungeon 6 right now, as he's in the Armos maze. He's about to fight the Armos Knight and get the last seashell in the game. Right here, it's a pretty sneaky one. We didn't mention that there's actually more than 20 seashells in the game. There's actually 26, but you can only obtain 20 of them, because after you do, the other ones just disappear. So it's not possible to obtain all of them.
Which is honestly pretty nice of them, because imagine if you're playing casually and you don't get the ones at 5 or 10 that you get at the mansion. If there were only exactly 20, you'd just be locked out, and that would be real unfortunate.
Yeah. Let's see, Mchan going with arrow strats on Armos Knight. Takes a lot of arrows to kill, but it can be easier for some people compared to the boot strat.
Yeah, boot strats can definitely be dicey. I remember I never quite got the hang of it, because Armos Knight, even with Blue Tunic, if it grabs you and just gives you, it doesn't grab you and throw you, if it hits you, it hurts.
Yeah, he can really give you a hard time if you're not well practiced enough, but he gets through. Let's see, Zintro. He's most likely going to do boot strats, so...
Yeah, and you really don't want to die in the Armos maze. It's real unfortunate because you get warped pretty far back.
We actually see both players opting for arrow strats here.
Ooh,
Quite the rarity. Taking a few hits, but he's still fine because of Blue Tunic. Having the damage from Arrow Knight. He actually deals quite a bit of damage otherwise, so it's pretty lucky that both players picked it.
Yeah, that's definitely another big advantage of Blue Tunic. Stuff like this, where just the damage of enemies in late game goes up pretty dramatically. So having it cut in half when you're trying to avoid dying at all costs is very useful in the speedrun.
Nice wall clip there from Zintrothen going through the statue.
Nice.
We're inside D6.
D6, the face shrine. You might notice there is a bit of a visual trend going here. Also, you saw Mchan do it. Now we're going to see Zintra do it here in a moment. There is a cutscene of the temple of the dungeon rising out of the ground, but we can skip it with bombs because, I guess Zintra
not on this
not.
one. You gotta about to eat up the cutscene for you.
Oh gosh, that's right. I'm not sure what I was thinking there.
Commentator still being rusty from the no OoB. I mean, it's understandable.
Yeah. I've done a lot more 80% than no OoB, but this is a very cool category. And Face Shrine is also one of those fun dungeons where
missing soul. Unfortunate there from Central. Going to be bleeding some more time, but it's not too bad. Everything ain't changed because there is some RNG in this dungeon later on that neither player can really do much about unless they have the magical card that people speak of.
I've heard legends of that cart for so long, and I've never seen it with my own eyes. I sometimes doubt if it even exists.
Oh, he actually ups a flock clip through the block. Not something you would usually see. There's also a strat there where you can do a shack jump in the corner there to get over. Flock clip's just a little bit slower, so it's understandable still.
Yeah, the flock clip setup is definitely simpler though. So if you're more comfortable with that than the shack jump, then absolutely makes sense to do it.
And here we go. Let's see what Triforce he gets. Second try. Very nice. That is a 1 in 4 chance right there to get both 4 sets. Standing up.
1 in 4 try? What are you talking about? It's pure skill. Didn't you know?
Pure skill. Only if you got the real talent. Which I'm clearly missing for this dungeon. For those who saw the race yesterday, they might know something about that. But yeah, Mchan heading into the boss of Dungeon 6.
Yeah, you might remember that Landmolus earlier we could hit it before it appeared. Same here with Facade, the boss of Dungeon 6.
We see first try horse sets from Central. Again, very good horse sets from both players. We've been seeing that quite a bit this tournament, actually. No world records broken today.
Ooh, that shack jump from Zintro, though.
Really smooth stuff.
You know, that's Facade, who just can never cut a break in this game. No matter what category, Facade either gets just outright ridiculed by bombs or, well, just more outright ridiculed by bombs, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, being a floor, definitely a rough life to have.
Oh god, is it ever. So everyone just walks all over you. All right. Well, now that Dungeon 6 is finished, hey, guess what? It drops us right next to the Seashell Mansion, which is convenient because they have 20 seashells now.
Yes, they do, and they're going to be getting the grand award for getting every single seashell. It's going to be awesome.
And this dramatic cutscene, which I thought was the coolest thing. Actually, no, I still think it's the coolest thing.
Oh, it is definitely one of, like, because it actually stands out a lot, I feel like, in this game. There's nothing quite like it.
They make a sword out of lightning, and then you pick it up and it shoots all the beams. That's just cool.
It's definitely a sight to behold. But yeah, the players are going to be... They're trying to go back a bit in order, so they're going to be doing Dungeon 5 next. Keeping things in check. There is kind of an infamous trick in this dungeon known as early hookshot, which they're both going to be trying. This one, unfortunately, is not quite as skill-based as horse hits. It is, in fact, a 50-50 shot, even if you do it perfectly, if you get it or not. So, I'm gonna hope for the best for both players here.
Yeah. So while Mchan's going to be setting up here in a moment, we can probably talk about it real quick. The gist of it is, the gimmick of this dungeon is you fight Master Stalfos in 4 different rooms in specific order. The room to the left is where you fight him for the final time, and then he drops the hook shot. The thing is, if you actually kill Master Stalfos just using bomb arrows, he drops a key. So the way the game actually does is, there we go, very nice, is in this specific room, if you pick up a key, the game turns it into the hook shot, essentially. That's a very simplified way of describing it, but that's essentially what we're doing. So we're dragging a key over using the boomerang and picking up in the same frame we land.
Yeah, nice first try there by Mchan. Definitely huge relief getting that trick in a run, because, you know, sometimes the trick is not with you. You can just fail it over and over again, and there's just nothing you can do. It's not a good time. But both players getting its first try very solid. It is still a race.
Oh, here's Master Stalfos now, and you're going to see that they actually are going to, instead of letting him fly off and do his thing, they're going to actually kill him here with bomb arrows, forcing that key drop. You wouldn't normally see it, but in this case, it gives us an extra key, which allows us to take a different route to this dungeon.
Yeah, just this trick, it just saves so much time. You basically skip off the dungeon.
Yeah, because normally the keys you can actually get in the dungeon aren't in the most convenient places, so just the fact that you can basically shake down Master Stalfos for extra keys is very convenient.
Yeah.
And the hook shot, now they have the hook shot. The hook shot is another in the long list of items that is just kind of broken, just like that. Clip into the block and just kind of phase through there using the hook shot. But don't look now, it's time for the Dungeon 5 boss, and we were talking about a boss that is a lot easier with the blue tunic versus the red tunic. This is the shining example right here.
Yeah, so for whatever reason, if you slash this guy with the red tunic, he just gets extra iframe, so it's way harder to get 4 hits at a time. However, if you don't have that effect, you can actually get upward to 6 hits if you're insanely good. Still, 4 cycles, or 4 hits per cycle rather, is good enough for the 2 cycles, so nicely done there by Mchan. Let's see if Zintro can repeat the same thing.
Yeah, and the other thing is, you might be saying, well, yeah, it has longer iframes, but you do more damage, right? Well, no. This boss is unique in that doesn't actually, when you hit it, it's just number of hits instead of like a damage count. So you always have, regardless of what sword you have to hit it the same number of times.
Yeah, it's basically a scripted fight. You have to hit him 8 times.
So level 1 sword, level 2 sword, blue tunic, red tunic, always the same number of sword hits. But both of them done, picking up the Wind Marimba. I don't know about you, but this was the game that taught me that marimbas exist.
Yeah, I can probably say the same thing for me. Never heard of it before playing this one.
But with that, they are all done with the non-mountain dungeons. Just Dungeon 7 and Dungeon 8 remain. So back up into the mountains they go. And
And
here's
we're
where...
soon gonna see both players being like truly synced up because Mchan is about to do his rooster skip.
Which we hope goes well. Thankfully, traditional rooster skip, which you do right here before heading to Dungeon 7, with the hook shot, I think is easier than early rooster skip. Some other folks might disagree, so hopefully Mchan can get it nice and smooth. But Zintro did take a tumble doing ERS, so... Oh gosh, Mchan not getting an obstacle skip
from Mchan.
Run invalidated. Hate to see it.
We'll see about his rooster skip. It is a frame-perfect trick that you need to do twice. It's in fact 2 hookshot jumps. So you're basically going to be hookshotting while you're on the pits. And then input jump, the frame that the hookshot finishes retracting to link. That enables you to basically make a jump input. And 2 jumps will get you over these pits.
Yeah.
Oh, he ends up going for the buffered version as well. Playing it safe. I mean, I can respect that.
Yeah. And there's that frame he wants, and here we go, going for a second one. Yeah, thankfully the big reason this works is because while the hook shot's extended, the game isn't... Oh, that was close.
Nice save.
The game isn't checking that you're standing on solid ground, as you see by the fact that Link doesn't fall immediately, but you have 1 frame where you can jump when it retracts, and that's hence the buffering.
But yeah, just like that, we see that Zintro is actually in the lead, going into D7.
Now we have our answer. But Dungeon 7 and Dungeon 8 are by no means free.
Yeah, there's a lot of tricky stuff in both dungeons. And Dungeon 7, we've said we were going to see a lot of bomb triggers in this run, and Dungeon 7, it has them all, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. It's one of those things where you have to stop and wonder if Dungeon 7 wasn't just sponsored by the bomb lobby, because goodness gracious, there are so many bomb triggers in this dungeon.
Yeah.
So the gimmick of Dungeon 7 is it's a 4-story tower with a metal ball and a number of pillars. You're supposed to throw the metal ball at the pillars to break them and make the 4th story collapse down onto the 3rd story. But, as it turns out, if you do bomb triggers, it also breaks the pillars. Who would have thought? So they're just going to be bomb triggering the pillars collapsing.
Oh, and also there's level 2 shield.
Yeah, oh yeah. Which doesn't really matter. You will never actually use it.
Yeah.
Oh, having a little bit of trouble on that second bomb trigger. Going to buffer it, and... Ooh, not getting it.
Still not getting it.
Had
That
a
should
little bit of
work
trouble.
out. That looks good.
There we
Yeah.
go.
A little low on bombs, but it's fine, because there is another bomb pickup in the dungeon, so he should be fine.
MJ can catch up here, gets it... Oh, going for the pit drop. Having a few more bombs, so he can afford to do it. That one's really only one that's generally... If your mashing is good, go for it, but a lot of folks prefer to do the transition one because it's a more consistent.
Yeah.
And there we go.
Players are actually quite close right now, but like Zintro has a slight lead, but it can all change coming up right here, because they're about to do one of the other infamous tricks in this run called Goomba Surf. And basically, you have to hope that the Goombas just go in the right spot. Oh, first try. Nicely done. It is a 25% chance of the Goomba actually going there, so very nice stuff.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the P-hat jump, but Goomba Surf, if you get good luck with it, is unquestionably faster. And Mchan also getting it.
Players getting good RNG. Oh my goodness, it's a true race, folks.
Oh yeah, this is Evil Eagle. Fun thing, since they've both saved and quit, there is no wall on the bottom of the screen, so you can just hookshot off the bottom and hit Evil Eagle at the top of the screen. Because wrapping around. And a well-timed hook shot to grab that heart right as it appeared. Nicely done.
Yeah, solid dungeons from both Zintro and Mchan. We're gonna see what happens here, because they're actually pretty close. They're only gonna be about 15 seconds apart going out of here.
Yeah, this late in the run, them being this close to all the tricks, all the tricks they've had to do. This is real good. It is going to be down to the final boss, even possibly.
Yeah, Dungeon 8 and final boss. Luckily, final boss has some of its RNG eliminated recently due to the fact that there's been a way discovered to manipulate the blue balls on Aghanim, which hopefully both players will get, no problem.
Hopefully. Oh, now, I'm wondering if we're going to see another fun little movement trick here coming up. It's time for my least favorite part of the run, because it makes me really sad, but it's necessary. They're going to have to leave Marin behind on the bridge, and there's two ways to do it. You can either run and jump across, or you can do boomerang. Yes! Oh, I thought we were going to get some zoomerang, as we call it, from Zintro. Not so much. Let's see if Mchan does it.
I really hope we do get to see it. He really baited us there with equipping the boomerang early as well.
It's such a specific trick. It only really launches you. It only launches you in one direction, but in the spots where you can use it, it's cool. Oh my gosh!
No one's going for it.
My heart's been broken in 4 times because we leave Marin behind twice, and then also didn't do Zoomerang twice. Oh my gosh!
Truly a heartbreaker, this race, but.
Oh, and here we are, the final Mad Batter. Now we'll take powder. Thank you.
Yeah, nothing else to offer there, so just a powder upgrade left. Hopefully we will not be needing any more powder this run. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Nice bonk there to get down, placing the bomb through the wall to explode the wall through the wall as well. Lots of walls there, but he's going to be running through these flames as well, and that is exactly why you don't need to use the mirror shield in this run, so it's completely useless.
Yeah, who would have thought wall clipping turns the only required use of the level 2 shield into not a required use at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, normally the flame knocks you back when you're clipping to the wall. It just doesn't. So you can damage boost past it. And that's actually another time that the blue tunic is useful, because that fire does 3 hearts a hit, so it can really leave you in a rough spot for Dungeon 8, which is not an easy dungeon.
Yeah, and something to note as well is that while they're bomb triggering this cutscene for the dungeon, they can actually just walk through the turtle instead of fighting him, because the entrance is still there, even though you haven't defeated him yet.
Alright, now it's time for a cool trick right here. Ooh, first try from Zintro. Real nice.
Yeah, very nice bookshot from Zintro. It works from having hookshot on B, hence the name bookshot. It just happens to give the hookshot more speed and lets you clip into that wall if you're on the right pixel.
Alright, and Zintro showing us Blano, which a mini boss that we cannot skip. It is actually possible to super jump up onto that ceiling bit there and get over and around, but that counts as out of bounds in Link's Awakening DX, so Blano does not get skipped. We have to fight that. I don't even know what to call it. Is it like a turtle with boxing gloves? What is Blano?
A very good question. Some people may call it the turtle, some might call it a penguin. I'm honestly not sure.
But both of them now getting the magic rod. Not the fire rod, the magic rod. Certainly a lot more magical in Link's and regular vanilla Link's Awakening, but in LADX it is still extremely useful.
Look at that, he's just going to be boomeranging the heartbeats down from the higher ledge. Another great example of this game just having the best set axis in all of video games.
God, how cleanly Zintro took care of that room as well. Just taking care of all the enemies.
Yeah,
Super
really
fast.
nice stuff.
All right, now it's time for a little bit of house cleaning here. Going to go into this room and do the Roomba here. There's many ways to do this room, but the key is you have to make sure that your little square Roomba here completely covers the floor, and it is surprisingly easy to mess it up, and you don't want to. Having to reset the room and have it move slowly around again is a sizable time loss.
Yeah, it is not a fun time at all. It's happened to me in runs on pace before, so I haven't seen anyone fail it in the tournament. It doesn't look like any of them are going to be failing it either. Ooh, nice one-frame super jump, or Jesus jump rather, on the lava. And it's time for Hothead.
Hothead is a boss that can be actually very dangerous. It actually is a high damage boss, but mechanically incredibly simple. Oh, almost had the one cycle.
Almost the one cycle. Unfortunate there. Yeah, it's actually interesting. When his shell breaks, he only actually starts taking damage once he starts falling there. So you can just simply time your hits and kill him with 2 after his shell breaks if you're really, if you have really good timing.
Oh, Zintro, the hero we need, giving us some Wang boys right there. Ooh, Mchan having a little bit of a struggle there. Actually, just whiffing Hothead a bunch of times on that first go, and on the second go. Just has to get it to its shell to break off. Ooh, Mchan!
Yeah, it was really unfortunate positions there, because unfortunately, if Hothead is at the very bottom of the screen, he won't actually take any damage from your hits. So he had a really rough time there because of that.
That's
normally
really
you want to spawn at the top for the most effective kill.
Thankfully, Magic Rod does get rid of those flowers that in the past Bow Wow could eat. So with that, they're on their way to the egg. That's it. It is time to open the egg. Although we are going to do it a bit of an unorthodox way, because pulling out the ocarina is time consuming. So we're just going to Link's just going to play some bombs for us. How does Link play the bomb? Well, none of us are really sure. But boy, does he make it sing. All right. With that, the path to the egg is open. Now, Nitros, let me out here. I thought we were supposed to go to the library, read the book to figure out the path through the egg, but neither of them did that. How are they going to make it through the egg?
So luckily, even though the path is usually random when you make a file of this game, it actually just happens that there's one path that will always work every time. That is left up, up, right up, and left up. Yeah, that's it. It works on every file, not in the remake, only in this version and the original version. So that's how they can just get through without having to read the book. It's quite a bit faster, as you can see.
Zintro, first one to make it here, goes for the quick kill on the blob, gets it. So good news for Zintro, no powder needed here. And here we go. Aghanim.
Yeah, let's see if he can get the manip done here.
Yeah, the first 2 hits are free, but then he's got to get 2 more. Usually it's random if you get yellow balls or blue balls, but there is a manip.
Just one more needed, and he should be good to go here in this final boss. Very nicely done. Let's see the Moldum quick kill. Very fast. The level 2 sword.
I'm moving on to Ganon while Mchan moving into Aghanim here. Hopefully, Mchan will also be able to. Oh, is Zintro going for? Oh, he is
going for the Devil skip. Going to be playing the song on the exact frame that a bat spawns, and he gets it. That should be GG's from Zintro. Very nice time.
That's fantastic.
Awesome run by Sintra.
Just like that. What a finish from Zintro there.
1:19:37 by Sintra. Very nice time. He actually ends up golding his last split as well. Very nice.
That was a super smooth nightmare, and getting Death'll Skip real nice. Now let's see if Mchan. I don't think Mchan's not going to is not going for Death'll Skip, so we're going to get a traditional arm jumping fight here.
Yeah, as traditional as it can get with the boomerang. As the boomerang, we already mentioned that it's quite overpowered, but you'll see here. Yeah, Final Boss takes 1 hit to be killed by the boomerang.
Yeah. 16 arrows or 1 hit from the boomerang.
Or 16 bombs.
Or 16 bombs if you hate yourself. And on that fade to white, GG. 50 seconds apart.
Very nice race by both players. Nice runs as well. Yeah, I believe that is a personal best for Mchan, so very well played.
I think you're right, because Mchan's listed PB is a 121, so very nice.
Yeah, definitely well played by both. Centro is in here for an interview. How's it going?
It's going. That's the best time I've gotten in a race.
GG's intro.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a really good run and very nice last split as well.
Absolutely terrible start to it. Like, just constant time loss up until enter D0, and then it was like steady time save. And I wish I got that in my PB attempts.
Yeah.
Like my 10 when I was well ahead, this would have been like a 117. I got those two runs merged together, but of course that didn't happen. So this is what I'm left with.
Yeah, we did see a fall on early Rooster Skip, but you definitely recovered very nicely. Second try.
Yeah, that happened because for whatever reason my map didn't open. I was actually pressing select like well before to buffer it, of course, and just for whatever reason it didn't open. I'm not sure why, and I fell because of that.
Question: what is our match score at right now?
Match score?
Mm-hmm. Is this this is best of 3, right?
It's not best of 3. It's
No.
just one race.
God. Okay. One race.
No, it's just it's one race, and winners are paired against other winners.
Noise. Okay.
Mchan won his previous race, so he and I got paired.
Yeah, both of you got pretty nice RNG though this run. Both got first try Goomba Surf. Pretty good 4 sets by both. It was first and second try, and double first try early hook shot.
I got almost perfect RNG in that run. Like, Goomba Surf was slightly slow, but it was still first try.
Yeah.
Had some trouble with the pillars. Where else was I? I was... Oh yeah, on the way to D8. Did you see that rock nuke me out of nowhere? like just before leaving the screen, this rock just suddenly came out of the top and just like out of nowhere. I didn't even see it for a split second, and it was there.
As well.
How'd your run go?
I actually felt really great about this run. Obviously, of course, I was more nervous coming into this one compared to last week's race, mainly because I do not have a sub 120 like Zintro had, but I knew that I just had to keep trying. I feel like I've actually played better. Interesting is that I actually got a new controller last night, and I actually started trying it out today. And I feel like I played better on this controller than the other controller that I used last week. I think part of it is because the buttons feel more loose, which is very important for like a game as input heavy as this game.
Yeah, for sure, and it definitely shows with the time you put up. It was a really solid PB.
You PB'd?
Yeah, I did PB.
Nice, congrats. What was the time?
I got 120.27.
Hey, you got 120.
Yeah, so I'm really happy with how this run went. Like, obviously, of course, I didn't win, but I'm still happy with how this run went.
Yeah, definitely great performances by both players.
So we were pretty close together then for
most of the race, I was watching the run. I was watching the run the entire time, and I saw how close we were. One of the things that like I keep telling people in my chat, people who watch my streams, is that your mindset between races and PB attempts, like they're different, because you have to, like, when you're racing, you cannot reset, so you have to adjust your strats based on like what you're going to do, what your opponent's going to do. It's kind of like that mind game if you know where your opponent is.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think there were a few places where I played it a little bit safer than I usually do, because I don't want to screw up.
Yeah.
Like the I call it the black hole in D6. Normally I like jump right across from it, like really close.
Oh yeah.
But this run I was like, I'm gonna stay a little bit further away this time, because I know someone else in this commentary room, I believe, fell into that yesterday.
Come on, no one's ever fallen there.
Rude.
That never happens.
I don't know who that guy is.
We don't talk about that race.
We like to poke our mistakes through our fellow runners often, all in good fun.
Yeah. But yeah, good job. Good job. I'm really happy. I'm really happy with how close the race went.
Yeah,
it's a really good race.
It sounded like it was close. I wasn't sure like how, like I was nervous going in as well, because I knew that you definitely could beat me. So like I was like actually going into it kind of nervous as well. Like it didn't take me until I think like sometime between D3 and D4 where I was like finally calmed down enough to like get into the rhythm of it.
Yeah, same. I started to settle down after I got out. Once I got when I saw my pace coming out of D3, I pretty much started to settle in, because usually the entire beginning part up until after D3 is usually where I lose a lot of time whenever I'm doing PB attempts. Anybody on the restream who watches my stream knows that in these race situations, like in a tournament, I actually like do not have splits at all, because I did not want to worry about what my pace was throughout the entire run.
Yeah, I thought about going into this tournament as well, not doing splits, but I decided I'll like use fun splits. Like I was comparing against Saga's world record for the run.
Oh yeah.
And there was a moment in his run. I don't know if it was mentioned, but the old route was that you get the warp after D2. So there was a moment where I like made significant time over his run. Yeah. But it's fake time, because as soon as Enter D4 happened, like you saw what the real time difference was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he hasn't. Segas hasn't. He's been doing runs, but he hasn't gotten to the point where I don't think he's at the level where he can PB again yet. But I can feel it coming for him.
Yeah, he's getting there. He's getting a lot of 118s, low 118s even.
Yeah,
so he's
a monster.
Yeah, I don't know if he's 117 yet, since starting up 100 runs again, but he's gonna get there pretty soon.
Yeah, he's definitely the player to watch out for.
Oh yeah, he's
in this tourney.
Tough.
That's really cool. I had fun watching it.
Cool. Yeah, I'm glad you guys. I'm glad all you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, this is actually, I was telling the comms right when we started, this is my first time ever watching an LADX speedrun.
Oh really?
Oh really?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was fun. It was interesting to see all the tricks. There actually are quite a few Zelda games that I haven't seen speedruns for. I would be interested to see, this is off topic, but I would be interested to see a speedrun for Four Swords Adventures. That sounds like it would be a hilarious time.
Yeah.
Oh man, that run's insane. Yeah.
Well, any other thoughts before we head over to ZSR 3 for the Wind Waker randomizer?
I guess another. I guess it's. I mean, I hate to kind of use this as a. Like, I didn't actually like throughout the entire week. I didn't really have much time to kind of prepare myself, just due to my work schedule that I was given this week. And all I had time for was just like little bits of practice here and there. Until like today, where I did a run before the race. Wasn't really that great, but I'm glad we got get the bad run out of the way, and then get this run here.
Congrats on the PB. That's 120.
Yeah,
is such
both
a good
of you.
time to get.
Yeah.
Well,
all right,
cool.
but other than that, thanks everyone for watching, and I'm glad you guys and I hope you guys enjoyed the race.
Yeah, and there's going to be another race, actually in 20 minutes as well, between Spirester and Happy with Sugar.
Oh yeah, you definitely want to stick around for that.
That's gonna be fun. I've never seen Speedster do a run, actually, a full run. So this will be fun to see.
Yeah,
I also want to thank the runners for putting up with our technical difficulties at the start. We had a we had an issue with our node that was it happened literally as all three of our channels were up, so we were in a little bit of a panic there, but we got it going and it was a fun time.
That's okay, because I got to play Link's Awakening more.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna send us over to Zelda Speedruns 3 to watch the rest of this Wind Waker randomizer, and I actually really enjoy watching this. So if any of the rest of you guys in chat out there are Wind Waker fans, I really enjoy these randomizer runs. So we'll go and cheer the runners on. It's a 1v1 to the end, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching on ZSR, and have a good one. Peace out, Cub Scouts.